Welcome along to Obviously Fight Talk, and this is Referee's Corner. If you're watching on YouTube, you will see him, so welcome along to your Referee's Corner with Daniel Movahedi.
How are we doing, gents? Hope you're well.
Very well. Dan, unfortunately, this Referee's Corner is a
little bit different.
It's a little different. It's hard to take. We wanted to speak to you about the unfortunate events of the Adam Braidwood versus Tim Hague fight. Unfortunately, it came out after suffering a knockout that Tim Hague unfortunately has passed away due to an injury sustained in that fight. It looks like it's brain trauma. He was confirmed brain dead, and then unfortunately passed away. Daniel, just watching the fight, what I know you've seen the fight in full. What was your thoughts on the fight, please?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say my thoughts are with Tim's family. And it's a tragic event. Shame it had to, obviously, like you said, it's not a normal thing that we talk about boxing as far as referees go anyway.
Yeah.
Looking at the footage, man, there's so many factors to pull in with people saying, could the referee have done more? Could the cornerman have done more? Could the promoter have done more? It's a hard one. I've had people ask me, should the referee have stopped it? I noticed after watching it, I didn't realise that he actually got 3 counts in the first round.
Yeah.
And I know some states don't have the knockdown rule.
Yeah.
Again, that comes back to the question of should all states implement the same rules and regulations everywhere? It was hard. It was hard to watch. I mean, you saw him clearly get clipped from the first shot. He got put on his ass, and then the one of them he got put down just from a single jab.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere where I thought that the referee clearly saying to him, look, I need to see more, And you sort of, with the first count, he was asking him, are you okay? You good to go? And yeah, Tim was, you could see that he was reluctant. Not reluctant saying yes, he did. He wasn't like, yeah, I'm good to go, let's go, But yeah, he didn't have the wits about him. Then, like you said, he had 5 counts throughout that whole fight. And when I had this conversation with someone going, had 5 counts throughout the fight. Okay, cool. What round did it finish? Or was it round 3? I mean, what? So in 3 rounds, he got 5 counts.
Round 2. It was round 2.
Was it round 2? See, look, even me watching it, I thought it was 3 rounds. Because the clip that you guys showed me, that's what I thought it was. So even worse, 5 counts in 2 rounds. I don't know. Could the referee have done more? Maybe. I'm not the referee in there. I don't know. But I know for sure as hell one of the things I would have said to him was, I need to see you throw more back than just one big haymaker or one shot every now and again. That's what you were seeing. The guy was picking him off. Tim was just covering up and throwing one shot back. And that's not enough, especially when I've given you 3 counts already.
Watching it, Dan, with me watching the fight, a couple of things stood out for me. Was one, Tim was doing something that you don't see boxers do. He was leaning down, and it almost looked like he was going for a double leg takedown. But as well, like the shots that were putting him down they weren't as hard as, like, obviously the finishing shot.
Yeah,
the knockout was a big shot. But in the first round when he was getting put down, they weren't, like, the first one put him down was a big shot. But then after that, they were like, it looked like he never recovered. But for the referee, this is the question I'd ask you. For the referee, when does it become apparent? Like Adam Braidwood, for example, he was 7-0 with 7 knockouts, and 8-0 with 7 knockouts. When does it become the stage for a referee? You're only in the first round. You're counting this guy 1, 2, 3 times, whatever it is. When does it come? Well, look, you're not going to win this fight, son. So I should wave this off. This isn't a competition. This is a one-way beating here. So which it was. Yeah. The second round, like as you said, he was throwing a big, wild right overhand to try and land a home run shot. Like Tim Hague, there's no doubt or disputing that he was a fighter. He wanted to continue.
You have to save yourself.
But surely a referee, because I know at amateur level, in most sports, when it gets to the stage where the guy doesn't have or the girl doesn't have the ability, you're not going to win this fight. What is the point in prolonging it and letting it go on? Now, I'd hate to put, I don't want to put blame at the referee's doorstep or anything like that, because it's terrible. And you have to feel for Adam here in this as well. But another thing that I noticed in it as well, and you pointed it out to me, Dan, while I was talking to you, the medical team were as blasé getting into the ring when this had happened.
Yeah.
So 2 questions to you. what point does it come where, as a referee, you have to understand that he's got no chance of winning this fight, we're going to stop it? And like a great example I'd give was your stoppage of Tim Barnett against Rhys McKee. I thought that was an excellent stoppage because Rhys was shelling and covering up, and some people might go, oh, he stopped it early. But at that point in that fight, Rhys had no out to win that fight. It was just starting to go all Tim's way, and it didn't look like Rhys had a chance at that point when you stepped in. It didn't look like Rhys had a way of winning this fight. The same way Hague at the end of round 1, there was no way he was winning this fight. So why let it continue? So that's question 1. And then part 2 is the
Let's ask the question 1 first. The thing is, right, I don't know what other referees do, but I know for example, on the weekend, I referee the boxing show, okay? I try to understand as much as possible from the coaches, look, what's his record, what's his experience, and you can tell when the person walks in and what they are, because at the end of the day, if I know the guy hasn't got much experience and he's against the guy, we shouldn't be really, but he's against the guy who's with more experience, especially with 7 knockouts or 6 knockouts or whatever it was, that's always in the back of my mind as well, Okay, well, if this guy hasn't got a chance, the thing is, we're not there as referees waiting for someone to get knocked out to call the fight. We're there to prevent it. And I felt personally, as a fan or as someone watching, as a spectator watching that fight, that even the first one, you saw Tim crunch down, kneeling down, and take a couple of more shots. What did you want him to do? And the referee stepped in. If you put a knee to canvas or a hand to canvas, that's when you get your count. However, if the guy is clearly crunched up and in you want to say a fetal position, surely that's an indication, ref, I want out. Yeah. Give me a count, It's like if a fighter turns their back, I always say to them, look, show me you want to be in this fight. And they're the instructions that I think a referee needs to use. Like I said, I don't know this referee, we're not here to shit on him. No. We're not here to put him down, because there's other factors you can take on about, like cornermen, like the promoters. But maybe, I don't know, Tim, not that he carries a big name coming from the UFC or anything like that. However, it might be in a big local fight. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's seen him fight before and thinks, okay, he's a heavyweight. Maybe he can handle himself. There's so many factors to play. But at the end of the day, look, unfortunately, and not as a result of the referee, and not as a result of the promo, but as a result of the fight or whatever it may be, we'll find only from the post-mortem anyway what the sole issue is. I know they said they had a bleed on the brain, but we don't know if it was from previous fights or whether it was from this fight that caused it. By the end of the day, unfortunately, we've lost an athlete, we've lost someone to a great sport, and they're the risks that we take, or should I say, that fighters take, stepping into the ring or the cage or any combat sport. That it can happen. That's the reality of it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many good refs you put in there, how many good doctors you put in there. At the end of the day, a single bloke could change everything. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it happened.
Well, that's one thing that a lot of people, with a lot of the safety measurements that come out in sports, there can be a lot of backlash from stuff, but it goes to show that it is within the best interest of the sports. It's a tragic event. I certainly don't, I don't want it to sound like we're having a go at the referee, or any says, but I just think there could have been, the damage could have been done with the very first shot, and it would have came into effect anyway. We don't know that, but it's just, I felt from it there was a lot that could have been done better, and hopefully
I'm going to jump onto your question too, because I know what you're going to say. So the doctor, right? Like you saw the guy, you saw the fighter fall back. And I know for 9 times out of 10, most doctors or medics should be, the reason they ever sit right by the entrance of the cage or the ring is that they're meant to be watching the fight as well. So they know what shots hit where, so they know exactly how the fighter got knocked out, how he got knocked out, how the fight finished. They're not there to sit down and read a bit of paper. I'm not saying this guy was, but surely that doctor was watching this fight and saw how Tim fell backwards. You even saw his head snap back from the canvas. Yeah. And the referee's on top of him, and it's not as if Tim's trying to get up, or his hands are by his side, so he's clearly out. And, so blasé, the doctor walks over, okay, what's going on? I'm thinking, dude, this is like critical condition here, this is critical time for you to be able to get there and act and see what the hell's happened. For me, forget the referee, for me it was the doctor. I thought the doctor, for me, should have stepped in a lot more quicker than he did. But again, I'm not a medical guy. I'm not a medical expert. Maybe he thought, hey, it's just another knockout. He knows how to deal with it. But I don't know. I can't add to that.
I think as well you have to look at the commission, because I know Tim was a school teacher and he was training part-time. He wasn't fighting full-time, and he got put into a guy who a lot of people said it was a mismatch. So I'm not sure how they agreed to the fight, and maybe it was done all above board and it was fine. But I think it just to say that it is very important for commissions to really make sure that they license and they regulate matchmaking correctly. Again, I'm not calling the commission out saying that it wasn't, but
you're saying something that's blatantly obvious. In a way, we're being apologetic for saying some things. To me, it has to be looked at. The commission have to be looked at. How that got sanctioned,
it's very,
very
important
to be reviewed, because the thing is, when something like this happens, you have to learn from it.
Just like unfortunately, like what happened in Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay. Just exactly what happened with Joel. Is that happened? And look, majority of the events now, whether they're with Safe MMA or medical, whatever, but they make sure that they have a good medic team. Or the shows I've been working with, make sure they have a good medic team. Even as ref, you back of your mind, you're like, okay, if someone gets knocked out, I need to act quick. I need to make sure that the doctors are ready, the medics are ready. I'm on the ball as well, so it does play in the back of your mind. So hopefully, I'm coming from this unfortunate event for that show can learn from this and hopefully put the more safety measurements in place that they need to be. And
just leading off that as well, during the BAM of the show, we'd done an interview with Glenn Ellis of Cold Blue, all regards the medical stuff, and that's something they should watch. Not because we've done it, because it's a very important, and it's very.
Not because we've done it.
It's a very important aspect of how a show should be run.
It shows something that when you turn up, pay your money, sit in your seat and watch the fights, you don't see. It's an insight to what is backstage. Essentially, backstage with Glenn Ellis and the Cold Blue team is an ER station, an accident emergency station, where they can deal with anything on site at that moment. So again, it's not because we done it. Check it out, because it's vital information, and I'll show you exactly the precautions taken at shows. Rob, stick a link to it if you can.
Be at the end of this video or in the description.
So check that out as well. Dan, it's great talking to you as always. Unfortunately, this time it was under a tragedy situation, but always great talking to you to shed some light on everything in and around referees. So thanks again for taking the time, Dan.
Thank you very much for having me. Enjoy your holiday.
I certainly will try my hardest. So if you're just watching this and you haven't checked out the latest show, go back and check out the latest show as well. Like, subscribe, and obviously Fight Talking on Twitter at @talk_fight. I've been Noel O'Keefe. He's been Robert Palin. That's Daniel Movahedi. Peace.